The name of the game. Football! The name of the game. Football! The name of the game. Football! The name of the game.
Mike Keane cutting that one out. But MacDonald was offside and the flag's up, but the referee is waving play on. Braybrook held back by Keane, must be. Braybrook still with it. Quick tackle by Allen. Collins with it. Two French. Bannister overlapping. All the skills here, French. Allen missing it. Rofe. Branston and Bullock. Keane. Off. And that's Braybrook. Dyson inside him. Here's Dyson with another chance. Dyson, good save. Braybrook still keeping it in. And here's Bullock. Bullock! It's a great goal! A great goal there by Bullock. Tremendous work there by Braybrook. And Orient go 2 goals up. Mickey Bullock the scorer, 3rd goal of the season. But the credit to Peter Braybrook. Well, now Luton have really got to go. 2 goals down, 15 minutes into the second half. Collins outside him, but that's Keane. That's Slough. Alan Slough brought down. Alan Slough brought down by Allen. Now then, a chip to the far post or what? Keith Allen there on the far end of the line. You can't see him on the picture, but MacDonald. Not such a good idea. Bannister. Finding French. Looking inside for Allen. He's found him. There's Bannister going down too. There's Allen. It's number 7. It's a goal by John Collins. John Collins, the scorer. All the hard work done by Allen, but the scorer, Collins. Well, he started it from way outside the area and was unlucky not to finish it off, but John Collins there, the scorer. So Luton now back in this game with 29 minutes of the second half gone. Mancini playing safe. Reed with a big kick. MacDonald a flick. Lewis. There's Allen. Allen across to French. French with a lob. It's a goal! Graham French. Well, a cunning bit of play there by Graham French. It would have been so easy to hit it over the top. Two goals each, 10 minutes left to play. Allen, Branston, always really following through on the goalkeeper, and Gollard's down. Taylor beating him. Slater to Dyson. In comes Branston like a tank. And there's French all the way back there. To Keane. Now there's much more space in midfield for Luton. And here's Lewis on the run. Mancini. Terry Mancini giving away the corner. Sensible thing to do. But the pressure is really on Orient now. French with the in-swinger. Allen up there. Branston up. Allen. Branston. Oh, he's really following through on the goalkeeper, and Goddard's down. Oh, Branston went right through there on the goalkeeper Goddard. He's hurt. He'll be all right though. Settle it down, I think they're asking him to do. It's getting certainly pretty hectic up in that goal mouth. Ray Goddard taking a few knocks. Branston. Harper. Slater to Bullock. Slater. Allen getting away with it. Allen on the run now. Taking his time, he's got Slater outside him. Not a good cross though. Collins all the way back there, but not getting the ball away well. Oh, dangerous place, but he got it away. Ryan. Trying to make Lewis run. Oh, clever play by Mancini. Rope. Oh, bad stuff that. Mancini must go into the book. Brian Lewis is hurt. Well, Brian Lewis is down. Terry Mancini must go into the book, but Terry Mancini and Peter Bradbrook in that story. Chapter and verse from a referee, Ricky Nicholson of Urmston. It must be Mancini. That's the fourth. Keane with the free kick. Mike Keane. MacDonald. MacDonald with the goal. Well, it had to happen. Malcolm MacDonald had to score, and there it is. So Luton go ahead after being 2 goals behind and still 4 minutes to play.
And as our studio guest, we're pleased to welcome Malcolm MacDonald of Luton Town, the goal-scoring sensation of the second division. Just a quick look at your letters today, but now let's move on to the action. First of all, it's action from Luton yesterday. Luton against Portsmouth, and a match where Luton will be hoping to keep up their challenge towards the top of the second division. Luton's home record is a formidable one, yet today they want to put still more emphasis on attack. John Moore, who will play at number 6, came through a fitness test during the morning, and the former Arsenal player, David Court, is left out of the side, but still a powerful-looking Luton Town team there. As for Portsmouth, well, they really haven't done themselves too much justice this season. They have a lot of class in their side. Blount from Burnley has stiffened their defence a good deal, and the under-23 cap Norman Piper has added a good deal of flair in midfield and coming forward. But I suppose most of the eyes at Kenilworth Road today most certainly will be on Luton's fine young striker, Malcolm MacDonald. 50 goals in 85 games for Luton. And I suppose big match viewers will remember Roger Hoy, formerly with Crystal Palace. And then, of course, there's Don Givens, who came to Luton from Manchester United. And there's another former United player in the Luton lineup, Jimmy Ryan, the number 7. And a nice little touch at Luton is the mascot. They give a different youngster this thrill for every home match, and so it spreads this little honour around. The mascot also gets a chance, before the kick-off, to come forward and meet that time-honoured Portsmouth mascot, the Sailor, as well, and also the referee John Thacker from Scarborough. Well, we're just about ready for the start. Let's take our seat for the start with Eric Morecambe.
So Portsmouth all in blue, defending the goal to our left, without an away win in the league this season, but with a little fluttering of form in the last 2 or 3 weeks that suggests that perhaps better things are on the way for them. Nicky Jennings now, formerly with Plymouth, leaving the throw, in fact, to the number 10, Brian Bromley. Former Bolton player, cost them £25,000. Jennings. Trebilco and Bromley, and nodded away towards MacDonald. And away goes Malcolm MacDonald, Super Mac as they call him, with his first touch or two of the ball. And Busby putting it in, and Milkins needing to dive at the feet of MacDonald. The first real threat from Luton. And already a player on the ground injured, Monks for Portsmouth, presumably as he tried to stop MacDonald going through. Former Sheffield United player. And while MacDonald is doing so much good work at the front, there's a man at the back, the number 5, Chris Nicholl, formerly with Halifax, that Alex Stock says there can't be a better number 5 in the second division. Well, Monks rather gingerly testing that left foot. And Keane back to Tony Reid, his goalkeeper. And that's one aimed towards MacDonald, but Blunt can't move it very far, and so it's Busby now, and MacDonald marauding on the left, just keeping it in. And a deep cross there towards Ryan, and again Milkins in action. Jimmy Ryan really went in hard for that one, and Milkins getting a fist to it. Mike Keane, and that should be a good deal easier for Milkins. He's been with Portsmouth since 1959 and over 250 appearances for them. John Milkins. Hoy with his head, but only as far as George Lay. Jennings back to Lay again, and a long one forward for Hiron to chase. Nicholl is there in very close attendance, keeping himself in a beautiful position there between Hiron and the goal. Don Given. Maybe it caught a little bit in the sun there, took his eye off it and didn't quite time it correctly with his head. And a good break here by Norman Piper for Portsmouth. He's only got Hiron in the middle, and Nicholl again getting there first. And now Mike Keane. A long one forward, and all these balls that are pumped forward look for MacDonald. Although Given here on the ball at the moment has given MacDonald a lot of good support when it's come to scoring goals this season. A good little run into the centre here now by Busby. Taken on the edge of that area, and the whistle's gone for a free kick to Luton. Given against young Viv Busby, a former Wycombe Wanderers amateur, right on the edge of that Portsmouth penalty area. And it looks as though it's going to be Mike Keane. Ryan is close behind him, and that's aimed towards John Ryan, and down he goes, and a goal! John Ryan, and that was his first goal of the season. A little flick by Mike Keane from the free kick, and a low ground shot into the corner of that Portsmouth net by Ryan. So 8 minutes gone, and Luton go into the lead. Piper nodded on very nicely by Hiron to McCann, and McCann has equalised. 2 goals in a minute. And a little bit of ragged play in that Luton defence was really punished to the full. Hiron playing his part, McCann shrugging off a tackle, and left-footed past the groping Reid. So McCann has scored against his old club after John Ryan scored his first goal of the season. 1-1 we stand. MacDonald, confrontation with Milkins. I didn't quite get to that one with his head either, but Reid taking no chances with a long raking kick from outside his penalty area. Tony Reid, who is a very interesting point, in fact he couldn't get into the side last season and played for a time as an inside forward in the reserves. Moore, Gibbons. Oh, badly taken there by Owen Hand. Very strong tackle indeed by Hand on Gibbons. Slow him down a bit. Slough for Luton. Jimmy Ryan trying to get up. Gibbons again, taking it on his body, just over. Controlled that well on his thigh, Don Gibbons. Just a fraction too high, otherwise that really would have been a fine effort. Nicol having quite a barging contest there again with Ray Hyran, this big 6 foot number 9. And the free kick given to Luton. And MacDonald looking for it. And Slough hoping to find him with this long kick. But it's Gibbons there as well. And Jimmy Ryan! That really was a powerful header with... oh, look at the bad cut there on George Lay's eye. There must have been a tremendous clash of heads there between Jimmy Ryan and George Lay. It looks as though Travers, the Portsmouth substitute, is looking as though he feels that he might be in the action very soon now. A regular visitor here, Eric Morecambe, puffing away contentedly, not so contentedly I suppose with Portsmouth having equalised so quickly. Well, Lay and Ryan, here's Ryan, they're both all right again. And waiting for the drop ball, and the referee jumping out of the way quickly, and with McCann and Hoy looking so businesslike, I'm not surprised. Nicol then turned there nicely towards Don Gibbons, and in turn turned on to MacDonald. He tried to play it out wide, but it's Bromley now for Portsmouth. Trebilco. And now Jennings. Watched by Ryan. And Ryan getting in first there, and Jennings always looks a rather fragile player. MacDonald. Hoy to Slough. Busby trying to get up, but beaten by Blant. And a throw to Luton. Oh, in space there ahead of MacDonald, and he couldn't quite control it. He might get another go. Down he goes, right on the edge of that area. Very angry indeed that he didn't get something from it. Nicol on again to MacDonald. The crowd cheering him on, and a beautiful pass there, and I don't think Gibbons will quite get to it. Milkins timing his interception well. Well, he was very angry at not getting a penalty, but he was lucky in fact to get the deflection coming back his way, MacDonald, in the first place. But it's noticeable how little room MacDonald is getting. The reputation of any goal scorer quickly goes around. They're having another look at George Lay. Must be a fairly bad cut after that collision of heads with Jimmy Ryan earlier in the game. And Ryan sacked himself on the far side. As you can see, there he is, with a little bit of blood on his shoulder as well. Now we're going to get a drop ball again. It all seems a little strange. Lay still on the field, the trainer's still on the field at the moment, and off we go. John Ryan goes off towards Busby. Can Busby get a shot in? No, he can't. Hoy played wide for John Ryan. Keane there in support as well. First time, but up on the roof of that stand. Alex Dock, the Luton manager, saying that Mike Keane, who had 10 years at Queen's Park Rangers, is probably now playing better than ever. Keane. And Jimmy Ryan and Monks cutting it out for Portsmouth. So Mike Keane with the throw for Luton. Jimmy Ryan, oh, hammered it straight into the back of Givens. Hiron to Jennings. And when they look back, there's always Bromley there in support. Bromley now to George Lay. The fullback coming on. Lay played off nicely there for Hiron, and a great chance for him. And he hasn't taken it. Ray Hiron within an ace of making that 7 goals of the season for him. Beautifully put through with a combination of George Lay's beautiful pass through. Lay and Hiron, yes, tackled a little too severely from the back there, and the referee going to have another look at George Lay's eye, and I would have thought if this goes on he'd either want him to be properly patched up or to go off. Certainly there's absolutely no reason at all why he can't get treatment off the field. It looks as though the cut is in fact up on the forehead, and George Lay, quite properly the referee saying that you're well enough to be able to go off and have your treatment. And so Portsmouth for the moment down to 10 men. The ball now back with Tony Reid from that throw. Norman Piper. And Piper, in fact, slotting back into the position that George Lay has been occupying. Could well be, of course, that he's got double vision. Really must have taken quite a knock there against Jimmy Ryan. And here's Slough. Hoy. And Luton's throw. Now perhaps we shall see a long throw by Roger Hoy. Keane poised underneath it. Malcolm MacDonald. Well, the first real long throw by Roger Hoy, and it caused a few problems in that Portsmouth defence as MacDonald here got his head to it after being nodded on by Keane. Milkins, though, with a kick. And it looks as though the substitute is coming on, although on the far side of the field, George Lay wants to come on. So the substitute is on, Lay is also on, now he's going off again. Well, the referee has let Mike Travers come on. The substitute on for George Lay. Moore winning that one in the air, Monks. And John Ryan winning that one, the first kick for the substitute Travers. Ryan, nice little header there from Givens to Keane, and Givens going on to take the return as well, and Monks is with him, and Givens still going on, turning it in behind that post. Looked for a moment as though it was going inside the post, but in fact round behind, and a very good run by Don Givens, who started it off and very nearly finished it for Luton as well. John Ryan, oh, losing it badly to Trebilco, and Reid, who was coming out of his goal half expecting a back pass from Ryan, almost caught out by Trebilco. Keane, losing it to Bromley. There's a certain aggression about this Portsmouth side coming forward, and a fair bit of skill as well as Bromley takes it up again. Now Jennings. Just a little too slow to get it across to Trebilco and Hiron and Piper, who are waiting. And so it's Tony Reid for Luton. Givens. MacDonald to John Ryan. John Ryan. Still going on, John Ryan, and taking on a little too much. having scored the first Luton goal, clearly wanted to make it 2. Hiron, McCann, Bromley, looking for Jennings, and John Ryan getting a foot to it very well there for Luton to find Mike Keane. In turn to Givens, raking stride as he comes forward. MacDonald trying to play it off, and he couldn't quite play it off to McGivens. It didn't quite come off. MacDonald again. So it's one to the left now to Busby, trying to take on his man. Still Busby, turning it back and over. Vivian Busby, who, like Mike Keane, had a spell at Queen's Park Rangers. He's very much shorter than Mike Keane's, of course. And so Milkins with the kick, almost the last one of this first half. Moore. And a foul by Blant on MacDonald. Blant with his arms on MacDonald's shoulders, getting himself an inch or two higher. MacDonald has scored 9 goals in the last 8 games for Fulham and has just passed 50 in first-class football in a matter of 85 games. That's a very high percentage indeed. Mike Keane with the free kick, and the wall no more than 5 yards away. But still, Givens gets up there. Now Busby turning it back again. MacDonald leaping once more, getting ahead to it. Played back now for Mike Keane to thunder one across that Portsmouth goal. So it looks as though we shall go in at 1-1, and indeed the half-time whistle goes even before Milkins can take that goal kick. John Ryan having put Luton ahead, and within a minute Albert McCann having equalised for Portsmouth. A very interesting and useful first half there. And still to come on the big match, the highlights of Liverpool against Everton, Hull against Queen's Park Rangers. The half-time score here at Luton is Luton Town 1, Portsmouth 1. And in fact, Luton have brought on their substitute for the start of this second half, Jack Bannister, his first game of the season, and it's John Moore who's gone off. Luton, who've been beaten only once at home this season in the league by Sunderland, although they lost also to Arsenal in the League Cup. Givens and Hand to put it into touch. So it's a throw then to Luton. Well, it must have gone off a Luton player, so it's Piper with the throw. McCann, Piper making a break. He's made some good intelligent breaks from the middle of the field this afternoon, Piper, but beaten that time. And a long one that again looks for MacDonald. Blant with MacDonald. MacDonald certainly not giving him a moment to think, a yard in which to move, but the ball coming to Givens. Now to Bannister, to MacDonald again. Blant still with him. MacDonald getting it across, and Keane going in, directed his header towards that far post. It was a yard or so out. But MacDonald, for all the fact that Blunt was with him all the way, got a good cross in for Mike Keane. Keane. Bad pass by Keane, and there aren't many of them in the course of a game, but that one goes to Jennings, and now to Bromley. Played for Hand. Piper well up as well, and McCann, here's McCann. Trying to take on Bannister, slipping inside. Bannister, a shot there for Trebilco, and he almost took that on the turn, with Slough going with him to give away the corner. Still a very lively striker, Mike Trebilco. Owen Hand has gone up into that penalty area, the big number 2. That's aimed towards him, and Piper, but Hoy to bring it away. Back to Reed. Busby. nicely taking on hand and beating him, and Bannister storming down the left as well. Still Busby. Great chance here for Busby, and now for McDonald going in hard. And Milkins diving out, and 3 men now lying in that penalty area. McDonald and Busby, who now has just got to his feet, and goalkeeper Milkins. So he's getting a round of applause, John Milkins, and my goodness, he deserves it for that save. And in fact, it's a free kick to Portsmouth. He's having a lot of pressure on him, Milkins, and getting a little bit of treatment, which I'm sure the referee doesn't know about. But now it's Keane. A nice ball there from Keynes to Ryan, and now to Gibbons. A thunderous shot, and a deflection, and a goal! 2-1. The shot coming from Don Gibbons, and a fine shot it was, and the goalkeeper getting some treatment. Gibbons very happy, but it was clearly a deflection that carried it past goalkeeper Milkins. So Luton then in the lead again. And now I'm wondering whether Portsmouth will snap back as quickly as they did in the first half. Trebilco. It's got the home crowd going. Jennings. And now Hand. And a goal kick. John Ryan with his head. And now with his feet. To Mike Keane. A little too slow and a little too deliberate. I think probably that's what's been wrong with Luton in this second half. That their build-up has been very slow and deliberate. Here's Jimmy Ryan, though. A cross that never looked likely to find McDonald. John Ryan. And that one won't find McDonald either. Hoy. Perhaps that will find McDonald. Oh, and he had a chance there. And he claimed he was pulled down, but the referee's having none of it. And it's going to be nothing more than a throw to Luton at that far side, and Hoy to take it. Busby. And the whistle gone. Busby controlling that with the upper part of his arm, says the referee. Free kick to Portsmouth. Hiron back to Hand. Now McCann. Travers making a move down the left, and that's aimed towards Travers. But Ryan beating him, and in turn finding Busby. Now there's a chance for Luton to break quickly. There's 2 against 2, and Malcolm McDonald completely free. It must be a pass to McDonald. Oh, taken too slowly. McDonald had so much room on the far side of that penalty area, and giving, I think, Vivian Busby a little bit of his mind. It wanted playing just that little bit quicker before that Portsmouth defender came steaming back to cover. But it's a corner, though, to Luton. Ryan to Busby. And now to Keane. Busby again, beaten by Monks. Monks again, and he hasn't done very much with it. Straight to McDonald, and Ryan just over. But now it's Portsmouth coming back again as we come towards the last minute of the game. Brian Bromley. McCann, Hand right up with him as well. And Trebilco pushed. It looked very much like a push, like threw that one away for Trebilco. And Trebilco, in fact, elbowing the goalkeeper as he tried to get it away. And we've now gone 3 minutes over the full time. Reed putting it to Travers. Hiron. And Mike Keane coming dangerously close to decapitating a cameraman, but taking no chances whatsoever. Bromley patiently waiting for that ball, perhaps not so patiently. And now Monks. Long one forward. Jennings, McCann, and Brian Bromley again. Turn there towards Hiron. A shot! Oh, in the dying seconds, a diving save. Again by Reed. Now 4 minutes of injury time gone by. Crowd frantically whistling, but Mr. Thacker not giving the whistle that matters as far as Luton concerned. Now he has. He looks at his watch, and Luton have won by 2-1. Don Givens having scored that winner in the second half. But some magnificently judged goalkeeping by Tony Reed and some brilliantly brave goalkeeping by John Milkins for Portsmouth. So the full-time score here at Kenilworth Road is Luton Town 2, Portsmouth 1.
And that's how it finished, 2-1 to Luton. Still to come on the big match this afternoon, Hull against Queen's Park Rangers and that fabulous Liverpool-Everton game. Now let's take a closer look, though, at that Luton performance yesterday. First of all, with Jimmy Hill, but after we've had a word with Jimmy, we'll also meet Malcolm MacDonald, the striker. But Jimmy.
Well, in fact, we thought we were in for a hatful of goals yesterday with these two coming so quickly. First, there's John Ryan. Watch with his swinger, his left foot, because he's not a naturally left-footed player. In hammering that one along the floor, it bubbled a few times on the way, but it was in. Now look at Portsmouth's reply. A chip ball goes up the middle. Lanky Hiron. You can see what it must be like to jump against that man. He's about 6'4", and he gets up. And here's a little weakness in Luton now, but McCann muddles it through there. I don't think they're nimble enough. I think they could have moved a little quicker there to have maybe prevented that goal. But that was the first two goals, but it's the third one, the winning goal, that really interested me. Malcolm, what happened for that one?
Well, Jimmy Ryan did very well in taking the defence away on a dummy and then shoved it square to Don Givens, who came on and hit it. And as he hit it, I tried to get out of the way of it, and it and it hit me on the heel and changed direction.
Well, let's have a look at it now. Here it is now. There's a nice layoff ball there. And here's Don Givens coming in to smack it. You're right in front of him, number 9, trying to get out of the way, but that flicks off your heel. Completely deceives the goalkeeper. And with him struggling with his right hand going to the right, it beats him on the left-hand side and in the goal. Now, not wishing to cause an argument, or perhaps wishing to cause one, but Don Givens has been credited with that. In my book, that's your goal.
Well, as far as I know, the referee has given it to whoever it deflected off of. He didn't know at the time that it was me. But all the papers this morning have given it to Don Givens, and I think, you know, we've counted it as Don's.
Well, I'm sure the team spirit at Luton is, at the moment, is good enough not to worry who scores them.
Well, no, as long as they go in, does it matter who scores them?
That goal scored off your heel, it's a quite an extraordinary thing. I mean, is that the secret of being a natural goal scorer? Is that how you
No. Well, funnily enough, this is the first time it's happened to us all season. A goal like this.
First time you've had a bit of luck?
Yes, believe it or not. And we're second in the table.
What about the the second in the table business? So you said to me yesterday, this business, if games have been decided on points, you would be winning hands down. Do you think Luton are that good? Yeah.
Yes. Well, we've had so many chances. It's quite ridiculous, really. That if half of these chances had been taken, we would have been so clear. We could have been working out the train journeys next year to the First Division clubs. But
do you mean you've missed a lot of goals as well as having this magnificent goal-scoring record?
Oh yes. I'm not the. But mind you, I'm not the only one to blame. You know, this is something really. It's gone right through the side. We've had chances and we've taken them. They've been cleared off the line. We've hit the bar and post more times than we've hit the net, I think, this season. Yeah. And they go inches wide. The keeper always plays brilliantly against us. You know, this is our luck, you know.
Well, yesterday, in fact, you had another chance, or what you thought was a chance, a penalty, which could have been the third goal, which you didn't get. Do you think that's a penalty?
Well, I thought so, yes. Very much so. I thought at one time I might have my name taken for arguing with the referee too much about it.
Well, let's have a look now and let the viewers decide for themselves. There you are. This is from our camera behind the goal, streaking across the goalkeeper. And there, do you see a hand come out and take his foot down, or don't you? But anyway, you hit the floor rather hard. Do you ever dive in those circumstances? What do you think is the best thing to do if you are going down? To make it look theatrical, or just to fall?
Just to go down, just to relax and just hit the floor. I've never dived yet, because my mind is just on getting the ball into the net, so I haven't got time to worry about actually diving. And then with this diving, you hear so much about it. I can't understand how forwards can purposely dive.
Well, they do it to persuade the referees.
But then they're obviously not concentrating on the game.
No. That's an interesting point. You were a fullback. Now, what made you change?
Alex Stark.
On with some action, and it's Watford against Luton. Neighbours, but at the moment, of course, poles apart, with Luton striding confidently towards the First Division, Watford in growing trouble towards the foot of the Second Division. Watford field a team with familiar names for those who remember their cup exploits of last season. But Ron Wigg here, the number 8 from Ipswich, is one new face, and it's his goals so far that have kept Watford out of even bigger trouble. Then there's another former Ipswich man, Charlie Woods, at number 11, an experienced winger. As for Luton, they come with a side bubbling with confidence. And in that side at number 8, David Court, who had so many useful seasons with the Arsenal. Now, these Watford-Luton matches mean such a lot, and the crowd of 24,000 is Watford's biggest of the season. Now we wait for the start.
So referee Danny Lydon of Birmingham gets us away. Luton in white defending the goal to our left, riding high in the Second Division, in second place in fact, against Watford, who in fact have won none of their last 6 games, struggling 6 from the bottom of that division. Here's Garbutt with the throw. Lugg trying desperately to get to the ball, and Hoy just as desperate that he shouldn't. And the ball in touch again on the far side, and again it's going to be Terry Garbutt to take the throw for Watford. To his skipper, Keith Eddy. And of course nothing will be better for Watford than a victory against their near rivals Luton to get their confidence going again. Don Given getting no change whatsoever out of David Butler, the man they bought recently from Workington. Seven rather scrappy minutes so far of the game gone, no score. Terry Garbutt with the throw for Watford. Lugg to Garbutt. Eddy beating MacDonald nicely. Keith Eddy coming on. And coming on again. Finally a shot blocked, and it's Scully. Tricky little winger. First time cross towards Woods. Turned back for Wally. Oh, just past that Luton post by Tom Wally. That really was a nice move by Watford. It always had Luton groping, and certainly that shot by Wally, former Arsenal player, had Tony Reid groping across his goal, just wide. Butler for Eddy, who never seems to fail Watford at the back. But that ball was over, says the linesman, and so it's Luton's throw. And I noticed that Malcolm MacDonald is on the far side there. Maybe we're going to get another long throw from him. Well, the signs are there. And a longish throw it is, but hacked away by Butler as far as Garbutt, and in turn to Wigg. John Ryan. Caught getting in there, but Lee's beating him. And the ball rather fortuitously coming to Charlie Woods. And there's Lugg away. And Reid spotting the danger quickly enough. But a good swift break by Watford. Watford still buzzing about now. Wally. Too anxious. Nearly curling back where both Lugg and Wigg were waiting. Walter Lees. And Lugg for a moment looked as though he might be through, but Slough was covering. Jimmy Ryan. David caught, savaged a little bit there by Garbutt. And Garbutt, I must say, for his own part, has taken a fair bit of stick this afternoon as well already. But the referee pointing out to Garbutt that he wants no more of it. And the free kick then to Luton. Slough with it. Aimed towards Don Givens, who seems to be bouncing off Eddie so often. Well, as you'd expect, a very good crowd, as they always get for these Watford-Luton derby games. Wally now for Watford. Challenged all the way by MacDonald, and Wally doing a fair bit of challenging in his own right. The two number 10s getting in a right old tangle there. David caught. Givens. Bannister up on the outside of him. MacDonald with Lees in close attendance once more. And a poor one there by MacDonald, sending Scullion away for Watford. Garbutt storming in on the inside, but I think he may have thrown a little too much of that to the defender. Oh, Wigg surprisingly allowed to get hold of that one, and Nicol then putting it behind for a corner. Well, Wigg must have been a little surprised at the amount of time he was given in that Luton penalty area by Nicol. There's Lees, the number 5, going up. There aren't too many big men in this Watford side. Back to Scullion, looking to beat Hoy. But he gets himself another corner. Number 10 is Tom Wally. Here's Stuart Scullion, former Charlton Athletic player, to take the corner. A winger that a lot of First Division clubs have eyed with a certain amount of interest and envy over the last couple of seasons. Here's Scullion then with the corner. Up under that crossbar and forcing Reid to push it over. So a little more pressure now building up on this Luton goalmouth. Third successive corner. Looked to me very much as though it must come from the other end, and the ball boy seems to be agreeing now. So this time it's going to be Charlie Woods who's going to take it. I wonder if those photographers are going to get the picture for tomorrow's paper. Here comes the corner from Charlie Woods. Well, in fact, he fell, he wasn't pushed. And now MacDonald. That characteristic run of his down the left with a lot of acceleration, and Givens in the middle, driven hard and low towards him. Out as far as Hoy. Stumbling, recovering John Ryan. David caught. Played wide again to Keane. And white shirts are up, and my goodness, the golden shirts are back as well. And now, after 3 quick corners at one end, we get a corner for Luton at the other. With the game at last becoming a little more lively, with 27 minutes gone. A lot of nervous sparring in the first 20 minutes or so, in a match that means a lot to both clubs, with so much local rivalry. So here comes the corner for Luton. Up under that crossbar, and a goal there by Mike Keane. Mike Keane has done it. His 3rd goal of the season. Sending the Luton fans wild. A nice in-swinging corner, and Keane there to finish it off. So 28 minutes gone, and Luton, I suppose the form horses for this game, 2nd in the 2nd Division against Watford, 6th from the bottom. Gurgola. Now Scullion for Watford. It'll do nothing for their confidence with no victories in their last 6 games. Well, yes, they come down the M1 from Luton. Wally played with the outside of his boot with a lot of accuracy there by Wally to Garbutt. Charlie Wood's coming in on it, but Nichols there first. Jimmy Ryan. Keane recovering. John Ryan. Eddie. Scullion for Garbutt. Scullion again. Oh, he was in 2 minds there, and it went to David Court. Court now sending MacDonald away. Again, this powerful run. Almost irresistible, and down he goes. But play on, says the referee. MacDonald feeling very much that he got a penalty there. And certainly the impression was that he was tripped. But it may well have been that he was tripped and fell into the penalty area. But certainly it looked a trip to me, but the referee thought otherwise. And so Watford breathe again, and it's Butler once more. A little too slow in thought and action there. Garbutt. The Watford bench a little bit worried, I would think now. Now Butler for Watford. A goal down, but still very much in this game, Watford, as Garbutt puts it across again. Nicholl only gets it half away, but it's as far as Ryan, and so that's the main thing. MacDonald taking these balls well that are coming at him with some pace. Ryan now to Jimmy Ryan. And Luton's ball. Don't think Eddie can really complain. That ball quite clearly came off him. And it's going to be Mike Keane with the throw for Luton. Slough. Givens. Hoy. MacDonald. Nice ball there, and stopped by Eddie. And David Court going on. Stopped again by Eddie. MacDonald now playing it for Bannister. Watford under real pressure now as Keane puts a fine ball out there for David Court. MacDonald waiting in the middle for it, and so too is Givens. He couldn't get his head to it. Keane again, or Hoy rather. And Jimmy Ryan, and a deflection past that Watford post by Mike Packer. Luton finding their men brilliantly in that little skirmish around that Watford goal. And Mike Walker in the Watford goal, dancing about there, always under pressure. Now probably under some more of it as Jimmy Ryan gets ready to take this corner for Luton. Givens at the near post. Keane and MacDonald poised at the far side. And Garbutt. An overhead kick, and it'll come to Court again. John Ryan. An offside given against Jimmy Ryan. Last few minutes of this first half, which really has bucked up a bit in the last quarter of an hour, 20 minutes or so. Garbutt. Jimmy Ryan. Wally. Playing well now for the moment, Watford, as Lugg tried to find Scullion, but it was a poor pass. To go into injury time, and there can't be very much of it at the end of this first half. And it's going to be a throw to Watford. Nobody really seems to want it. Terry Garbutt with it. Trying for the umpteenth time to get Scullion away, and Scullion obstructed, says the referee, by Mike Keane. Not happy with that decision, Mike Keane. But it gives Watford a last gasp chance at the end of this first half to do something about the 1-goal deficit. Walter Lees going up, and Givens, you'll notice, going right back with him. That's how they're arranged, with plenty of golden shirts of Watford are up there. There's the kick, low and hard. Lees looking for it with his head, and the ball going off Mike Keane, who was going with him. And so it's a corner now to Watford. The last seconds now of this first half. Woods with it. And the whistle's gone for half-time. Even though those Luton players desperately trying to get the ball away. With the only goal of this first half having come from Mike Keane to put Luton ahead. But still to come on the big match programme this afternoon, not only the remains of this second division match, but the first division match between Manchester United and Manchester City, and West Bromwich Albion and Spurs. The half-time score, though, here at Watford is Watford 0, Luton 1, and we shall be back with more soccer for you in just a couple of minutes. So Watford then get us away. Now defending the goal to our left in this second half, a goal down. And goals certainly haven't come easily for them lately. They've scored only 3 in their last 5 games. And Luton, I thought in the first half, if anything, looking more together, certainly more urgency about them. And with the confidence that you get from being so high in the division. So it'll be quite a task for Watford, and here's Mike Walker, their goalkeeper. Wigg trying to bundle Nicol off the ball. Wally played it straight at Garbutt, and so it's Don Givens now for Luton. Swung wide and intercepted by Packer. Keane played nicely there for Jimmy Ryan. Only McDonald is up with him though. It's a fair target to aim for. Ryan going on, and McDonald going in hard and forcing Walker not only right into the back of that net like a ball, but Walker looking almost like a fish trying to get out of that net. In fact, had punched the ball over for a corner to Luton in the opening minute of the second half. And it's going to be David Court to take it. Givens again at the near post. Big crowd behind that goal looking for some more action now as Court plants it under that crossbar. And Walker must have been pushed as he jumped. Well, they look a little bit glum. Maybe they're Watford supporters. And Scullion once more. I would think that Watford will play more and more on Stuart Scullion, this number 7, who looks more likely than anybody else to find a way through this Luton defence. Butler well up. Tom Wally well up as well. And there's number 9, Lugg, but offside. And although the ball finishes up in the back of the net, the linesman had his flag up a long way before it found the back of the net. And in fact, such a long time before the ball was in the back of the net that they brought it across to this side of the field to take the free kick. Well, they are the Luton supporters. Lees, who's done a good conscientious job, certainly on Malcolm McDonald. Now Eddie. Flicked wide for Terry Garbutt. Garbutt with Hoy covering him, put on now for Charlie Woods. Woods and Hoy having a right old tangle for it too. Well, the ball's got to come out of there somewhere. And in fact, it's a free kick to Luton. And Jack Bannister with it. Don Givens wanting it. And Givens, in fact, getting up well to flick it on towards McDonald. Garbutt. And Butler. Packer. Scullion with a back header. And Nicol keeping very close to Lugg. Mike Packer to Tom Wally, with time enough to get this one into that Luton penalty area. Slough to get it away. And now McDonald. to Givens. Caught. Givens again. John Ryan. Mike Keane. And Jimmy Ryan. Taken rather aggressively from behind by Mike Packer. But it's a throw and nothing more for Luton, and Mike Keane with it. Ryan. And Packer. Twice in danger of losing that ball. And it comes across there with Givens, almost getting ahead to it, and the corner given. Good piece of defensive work there by David Butler, because it seemed that there would be no danger at all from that situation for Watford, and suddenly there was, and Butler was very alive to it. This number 2 that they bought quite recently from Workington. There he is, David Butler, number 2. Ryan now. Keane to plant it across there, caught, leaping for it, and Lees this time, forced to give away the corner at the other side of the ground. Walter Lees, the big number 5, is caught, very active in that Watford penalty area. In fact, coming out now to take the corner. Givens again at the near post. McDonald and Keane are there too. Here's the corner. McDonald making a run for it, and Walker losing it, and almost put into his own goal. I think by Wally, no, by Lees. Eddie urging his men to calm down. And certainly there have been 1 or 2 moments of panic now in that Watford defence. Here comes the other corner from David Court again. Not such a good one. Woods. And Lugg. Darvitt caught it on the thigh, but found his man. And that man was Eddie. Eddie again. Scullion with that curious sloping run of his on the left-hand touchline now. And caught to get it away. Only as far as Eddie. Now Wally. Scullion darting, but then once he'd made his dart, he stopped. And Wally wasn't aware of it. Tried to play it inside that Luton fullback. Jim Ryan. And it looks as though Watford are going to bring a substitute, Duncan Welborn, on. Limbering up on the far side. There's Duncan Welborn, a full-back. But now Scullion. Packer going on outside him. And finally it's Jimmy Ryan who gets the ball into touch. They want him on now. Trying to attract the referee's attention, and the referee's attention has been drawn to it. We've got to wait and see who goes off. Well, it's Duncan Welborn on, and it's going to be Ray Lugg who's going on. Ray Lugg, who's been a midfield player since he came down from Middlesbrough. A bit surprising to see him, in fact, in the number 9 shirt amongst the front runners. And a goal kick. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they shuffle it around now, because Welborn stays at the back. And there is Welborn getting his first touch of the ball, and he's sending Ron Wing away. Oh, what a save! What a save by Reed. Well, that really was the most dramatic entry there by Duncan Welborn. A beautifully headed ball there for Wig. Givens. Well, that's the kick of a man who knows that his side are just a few seconds away from a valuable away win. It'll eat up a few more seconds. Presumably that was Don Givens' thinking. Referee looking hard at his watch. And there goes the final whistle, and 2 more points that send Luton on their drive once more towards the First Division, and puts Watford in more trouble towards the bottom of the Second Division. Now, no victories in their last 7 games. The only goal of the game coming in the first half after 27 minutes then from the Luton skipper, Mike Keane. So the final score here at Vicarage Road, Watford, Watford 0, Luton 1.
What about that Luton victory? A victory was an important one, of course, but it was also gained at some cost because Roger Hoy went off with an injured leg muscle and is now likely to miss the Christmas games, vital games. And Don Givens also was injured as well. But what about the goal that brought Luton their victory?
Well, here it is. It was a terrific goal. Watch the way Mike Keane comes in, leans back and guides the ball to the right. He moved in from the right, leaned to the left and guided into the right-hand corner of the goal. A really tremendous header that by Captain Keane. Absolutely superb. In fact, we thought yesterday that perhaps Luton might have deserved a 2-0 win because there was a penalty incident with Malcolm McDonald where he was brought down when he was flying through. Let's have a look at that now. Watford and Luton fans, hold your breath, because here comes the answer. He showed great speed here, but also so did Lees, the number 5, chasing him to keep within striking distance of him. And he gets him just outside the area. Just decide whether you think his foot does actually touch him. I think it just touches the end of his toe, but you can see clearly that it was outside the area, although by the time that he comes down, he's well inside the penalty area. But it was Watford who were really unlucky. Watch this through pass for their disallowed goal and decide whether Lugg, the number 9, is onside at that point. He's just on the right-hand edge of your picture, and you can see over the other side of the picture a white-shirted fullback there, I think, playing him onside. In fact, the Luton players know the linesman got his flag up there so that they do stop. But we can see that Lugg goes on, he crosses the ball, and it does, in fact, end up in the net. But the score was 1-0, and that was the one that might have made it 1-1. Not the greatest game in the world yesterday, 2 very good points for Luton. I thought Terry Garbett showed lots of enthusiasm and skill for Watford and deserved perhaps a bit more support from the people around him. But for Luton, man of the match for me, Mike Keane. 600 performances, never had his name spoken to, taken by a referee, and for me that's kind of professional that I like to draw attention to.
But now it's time for some more action, and for that we go to Luton, where it hasn't really been a very happy season for them. I noticed that yesterday the Luton Supporters Club were handing out leaflets saying, please support our team a little more. Well, let's see how that worked out as we pick up Luton against Portsmouth, commentator Jerry Harrison, and Luton are in white.
And a tackle by Nicol, after he looked as if he almost got by. There's Chris Nicol, conceding the first corner of the game in the second minute. Owen Hand is at the back of the penalty area, so is Jenkins. Reynolds going to the near post, the short one, worked across the face of the area. Keane there to get it away, and there it is from Reynolds. And what an abject piece of luck for Luton. Mike Keane's header hitting Reynolds here and leaving Tony Reid, the goalkeeper, absolutely helpless. Busby, a flick on, straight to Youlden though. To Hand, McCann. Portsmouth seem to have just that little bit more time and just that little bit more accuracy, and here's Lay going for a good ball from McCann. Over the far side now, 4 Portsmouth players, if he can get a cross in. Trebilcock's the far man, but he's got to get past Givens first, and Givens gives it back to McCann anyhow. Good play by McCann, can he try one? Reynolds going to shoot. So easy from that distance, but made by McCann. An error in the first place by Givens, and half the Luton Town defence standing still, and Portsmouth go 2 up. Vic Hallam's at the back with Chris Nicol. There they are, 12 and 5.
So a lot for Luton to do in the second half, and incidentally in this second half, those of you with colour sets, the pictures will go to black and white.
Keane gets it. Owen Youlden flicking it past, almost caused more trouble with it. And now at last a roar of support from this Luton crowd. Another one, number 7. 6 minutes into the second half. Gordon Heinsohn. Keane coming to the near post. Out comes Stanton, changes his mind. Keane! Well, that is the breakthrough, and the man who thoroughly deserves it. 10 men. Now it's 2-1. And Mike Keane, with his second goal of the season, puts Luton in with some sort of a chance. Well up by Nicol under terrific pressure. Keane thumping it away. Very little width in the Luton attack. Of course, they can't afford it really with only playing with only 10 men, but it means the flanks are quite useless very often. Quickly in there by Nicol, and now it's Luton breaking again. Here's Heinsohn, can he turn one up and try one? Heinsohn, oh, it's there! And Standen absolutely helpless with that one. It was slow across his goal, but give the credit to Gordon Heinsohn, and the salute says that's his first goal for Luton. And what a time to get it. Keane coming forward against Hand, leave it off it. Play on, says the referee, who's just behind. Oh, Nicol's in there hard against Trebilcock, but doing well to get it to McCann. Not such a good one. Cut out by Heinsohn, who'd read it well. Reed with his big one. To Heinsohn. Nice control, and Heinsohn goes again. Chased by Piper, and it's a good one to Hallam running wide. He's got support from Anderson here. His... oh, what a shot from Heinsohn! What a dangerous player, he's coming. Now it's caught. And there goes Gibbons, who doesn't look like as if he's got an injury now. It's always to the post. And Gibbons, the limp suddenly comes back, but here's Anderson. Anderson going to get one. Oh, it's there! And with 3 minutes to go, it's Anderson. But most of the congratulations of the Luton players going over the other side of the field to Don Gibbons. And Anderson himself congratulating Don Gibbons, the injured man who made that break.
We go from the third division to the promotion battle in the second division. The visit yesterday of Queen's Park Rangers to Luton. Vital match for the Rangers. They dare not be beaten. And of course, there's some vintage goals coming up now. Also, the sight of Rodney Marsh being booked after the whistle for half-time had gone. Pictures from Anglia, commentator Jerry Harrison, and Luton other side in white.
That's going for Leach. Keane gets it, but good bit of control by Francis. Marsh is there, but Francis is in! It's a good goal by Francis on his own. 5 minutes gone. Jerry Francis, it's about his third touch. He looked dangerous in his first, and now he's put Rangers 1-0 in the lead, and what a great start away from home. Keane wins, gets a knock. Caught, past Saul. But Marsh is in there. Beautiful play by Marsh. Bit of arrogance there, and he's shot down from behind by Court, right under the referee's nose. And that surely can only result in one thing. And it does. Well, there are places to do those things, I suppose, but you've no chance of getting away with it if you do it a foot in front of the referee. Strangely enough, he looked
up to that time, up to this 20-minute mark, one of the least dangerous of Queen's Park Rangers forwards. But whatever he's doing, he's attracting attention. Not always the most desirable sort of attention, but here we go then with a free kick. Ferguson is wide on the left, Leach is wide on the right, and Leach coming in on this, Reid going out. Well held by Reid, and Leach gets the knock. Saul picks up, in goes Moore. Ferguson there. Mancini for Saul and Nicol. Ryan. Hallam on his own with Mancini. Anderson, a sharp tackle from Hazel. Well, certainly Rangers looking a highly competitive side, and for a team who have a reputation of not playing much away from home in the last couple of years, it's changed dramatically since Gordon Jago took over as manager. Now Ryan going forward, trying one. Oh, what a shot! A tremendous goal! So John Ryan's first goal of the season, and what a goal! Puts Luton back on terms. 22 minutes gone, and here's Hallam now against Hunt. Hallam not so much in it as he was against Millwall. We had a brilliant first half, but he's showing better now. Doesn't get the cross away, but here's a good one. Oh, from Mike Keane from well outside the area. Here's Gibbons. Beautiful play by Gibbons. Hunt's the next man, but Hazel's come back for another bite. Keane gets it in. Oh, Mancini luckily gets it away. Saul to touch to Venables, and here's Marsh again. Half a tackle from Moore. Play on, says the referee. Play on, although Marsh wants to get involved in one or two things. And now it's Luton in a good position on the stroke of half-time. It's Hallam. Away by Hunt. Here's Marsh again. Through the legs of Moore this time. It's a beautiful ball to Leach in a good position, with Ferguson coming into the far post. Oh, beautiful save by Reid. Well kept out by Ryan, and what a way to finish this first half. And indeed, the whistle has gone for half-time. A superb 45 minutes, highly competitive football. Two great goals, one from Francis, one from Ryan, and the game very much in the balance. And what a good goal it was by John Ryan there, his first of the season, to put Luton right back in the game and looking every match a promotion contenders themselves. And meanwhile, there's a bit of trouble on the pitch. The game isn't over despite the half-time whistle, and it's Marsh going into the book.
Well, that was a half-time score, and also the full-time score as well.
That'll come for Barry Butlin. Ryan, Jim Ryan. Butlin still. And Garner couldn't quite keep control of it. Bullock. Queen. And now Downing for Orient. Bullock very lively indeed, and Faulkner had followed him well to turn it into a touch, but in fact in doing so had used an elbow in the back of the Orient number 9. So Ron Challis spotting that very quickly. Tom Wally with the kick. Bullock is going for this one, getting it into it! Oh, a fine save though by Barber. That's two very good saves already by young Keith Barber. Hoadley and Butlin both missing that one. Downing turning it back for Jackson. Anderson now for West. Well, he got Allen going one way, then the other, and held off Wally very well. It took pain to get it away. There was a very good run indeed by Alan West. And here's West again. Across towards Butlin. Jackson shouting for it and needing to push it. And Ryan and Jackson doing well. And that'll certainly make John Jackson feel better. Downing now taking it up for Orient. With the Luton defenders getting back as quickly as they can. Oh, they allowed that to go right through though, and it's with Queen now. Played once more for Downing. And across the face of that goal for Barber once more to go down. So we're getting a lot of good action at both ends of the field. And Faulkner not happy about something there. A push in the back quite rightly there by Brisley on Anderson. Young Brisley on the left really does enjoy getting into a game. Played very well this afternoon. David Payne getting himself into a corner there, and in fact conceding a corner to Luton, which is the sign for two big men from the back to come up. Faulkner and Garner, the 5 and the 6, both going right up. Right up there on the far side of the area now. Ryan is going to take the corner. Towards the near post, and Hepburn very nearly an own goal. In fact, it was cleared off the line by Downing, the number 3. Ricky Hepburn so very, very close to putting it into his own net as that corner came over. So Downing doing good work.
Come on, Jackson!
Luton getting another corner.
Come on, Jackson!
Curling in once more, and Faulkner. Looked to me, if anyone was doing any pushing, it must have been Wally on Faulkner, but the linesman has given it the other way. Well, Tom Wally may be a little fortunate to get away with that. Payne getting past West, and West coming back for some more. Fairbrother laying it back again for David Payne. There comes the cross again, not a very good one. West, Thompson. Now, can Fairbrother get anything here? In fact, Thompson got the foot to it and gave away the corner. So another corner for Orient. Terry Brisley's going to take it. Tom Wally's come up once more. Brisley's corner. And Bullock couldn't quite get a header to it. West. Downing's going in there. That was a good header by Downing that might have reaped something. Allen, Orient still in there with a lot of men planted forward again. Downing, crossed once more. This time towards Jerry Queen, getting up very well. Fairbrother with a shot, and another good save by Barber, with Thompson turning it away. A prodigious leap there by Jerry Queen, and Fairbrother's shot pushed round again by this fine Luton goalkeeper, Keith Barber. But another corner for Orient. Allen once more is taking it. And Wally couldn't quite get the accurate header, but Hepburn again in possession for Orient. Through the legs that time of Ryan. Ryan now away, but Orient, or rather Luton, had pulled so many men back that Phil Hoadley's got all the time in the world to pick his spot again. Is towards Bullock. Another nice layoff there, laying some beautiful balls off on the edge of that area, Orient, this afternoon. But now it's West for Luton. Butlin, back for West again. Aston. And he couldn't hold it in. It's a goal kick
Aston thought it should have been a free kick for a push in the back. Harry Haslam in the centre, the Luton manager. Downing. Queen. And Ryan clumsily giving away the corner there. Or rather, Shanks giving away the corner. So Brisley, well, will take the corner for Orient. Bullock, the number 9, right in there. Such a dangerous header of the ball. Tom Wally, the number 6 there. Jerry Queen's at the near post once more. It'll go beyond Queen. Oh, and it hit the post, and it still hasn't gone in. Now, Brisley, will he turn it back? No, the whistle had gone. So Orient kept out really by a little bit of bad luck there, having had 3 or 4 very good chances, beaten away by the brilliance of Barber in goal. The Orient bench there with Peter Angel on the right and Paul Harris, of course, on the left, the substitute Ernie Shepherd in the middle. Certainly for me, the best players in this first half are Barber in the Luton goal and Terry Brisley in the middle of the field for Orient. West. A shot, and Jackson had trouble with that because that bounced so awkwardly just in front of him from Alan West. Oh, and he didn't get to that one, Jackson, and Butlin was almost there. Now Butlin can turn it back once more for Aston. A little dink inside by Aston to the far side. And the Luton players are protesting that there was a handball there, I think, inside the Orient area. And the play is going on and is now being called back by Ron Chalice's whistle. Well, Luton claiming, I feel sure, that there was a handball there in the Orient penalty area. Playing injury time now at the end of the first half. Can't really remember a trainer being on. And indeed, the whistle goes for half-time, and the man with the ball is Keith Barber, who really has done more than anybody else to make it 0-0. Some fine saves in that Luton goal. Terry Brisley, I think the number 8, there he is going in now. Has probably been Orient's best player, fighting for so much in the middle of the field. But a very good first half. Still so much more to come on the big match this afternoon, including the views of Brian Clough. But we leave you at half-time then with the score. Orient 0, Luton 0. So it's Luton then waiting to start the second half. Off. They'll be attacking the goal now to our right. They've already had good away wins this season at Sunderland and at Crystal Palace. And they've held on well under a lot of pressure here this afternoon against Orient, who've looked very fluent indeed. So it's Luton then who get us away at the start of the second half. West making the first break, and Downing covering there for Orient. And the ball going for a throw. So it's a throw to Orient. Downing with it. Wally. Back for Downing again. Tom Wally. And Heppley. Queen. Wally away this time. The long ball to Bullock. Certainly Faulkner hasn't strayed far from Bullock. But now West, who's found a bit of space for himself there. Good striding run there, this former Burnley youngster. And getting it back off David Payne. Played this time for John Ryan. Jim Ryan, in turn now for Shanks. Deep cross towards the far side, and Anderson had gone right in there amongst the strikers, but couldn't quite get high enough, and Orient get a goal kick. Butlin, the number 9. And Jackson with the goal kick for Orient. Garner now, and Ryan bobbled a little bit in front of him and he lost control of it. Downing turning it towards Bullock again. Can Brisley get to that one? Garner for Aston. Still with Aston. Brisley. Allen and Wally. Planted left-footed there for Jerry Queen. And Faulkner playing it straight to Heppelet. Downing's made a very good break down the left now for Orient. Now can the Orient make this pay off? Well, Fairbrother is almost there. Garner is there too. And no! And just past! Having hit Brisley in the face. And Brisley would have known nothing about that goal. As it came out, the ball whacked him in the face. Ricocheted no more than a yard past that Luton goal. So Peter Angel on now to attend to Terry Brisley. Doesn't really need it though. Well, that would have been a goal he would have known nothing about. Ryan. This is Hoadley's ball. Allen. Oh, good delicate skills there by David Payne and Peter Allen, and now it's with Wally. Queen trying to lay it off, and number 11 Heppelet's almost there. It's not away yet by any means, and it's still not away. And now here's Bullock. What a tremendous scrimmaging there. Now can Orient make it? Brisley, no. Queen, no, against the post. Fairbrother's missed it. What an incredible sequence. That was quite remarkable. The ball finally cannoning off the post, and in all that intense skirmishing, Luton for some reason or other getting a free kick. But there were at least 2 or 3 occasions in that 20-minute burst, 20-second burst, when you felt that Orient had to score. And just listen now to this Orient crowd. Well, Barry Butlin going off. Roy McCrowan getting a little bit of coaching from the touchline there. I think the message is for Jim Ryan to stay wide, to use the whole width of this pitch. Barber is all right now. So Barber's all right with the kick for Luton. And incredibly it stands still at 0-0. Queen back for Downing, and still Orient coming forward and piling it on. Wally now to Heppelet. Stabbed with the outside of the boot there for Peter Allen. Payne has gone into the middle as well. Fairbrother's there now. Is this Fairbrother's chance? Charge down again. Payne over the bar. Well, you feel that that Luton defence has got to cave in sometime, except at the moment they're refusing to do just that. Well, I think there have been 1 or 2 moments in the second half when Keith Barber here couldn't really have known what was going on. And you get the impression that what is happening to Orient today is exactly what happened to England at Wembley on Wednesday night. Hoadley. Thompson. Aston. Here's Hoadley. Jerry Queen outnumbered 3-1. No surprise then that Luton get it away with Shanks. Payne with Aston right behind him. Pepperlet. Bullock. Oh, Thompson got in the way of that one. Fairbrother. Oh, and a little bit of panic was growing there in that Luton defence. Allen. Showing so much skill, Peter Allen. And more of it there, still with Allen. A little shimmy towards the number 10. Jerry Queen, and just no more than a couple of inches too high. But Peter Allen showed skills that really would have been worthy of the first division there. Good jump by Buckley, now jumping Hoadley there. Allen. Wally coming up in support. Played that for Bullock. Still with Bullock, and a good shot along the ground there from Mickey Bullock. Hoadley back for Downing, safely to Jackson. Aston. Oh, Brisley said thank you very much for that. Queen. Pepperlet. Brisley's right in there again. He's still there. Played back for Jerry Queen. Hitting one. Yes, that will do from Queen. And a goal that Orient deserved. Struck home with great power and beautiful accuracy by Jerry Queen to put Orient in the lead. So much credit there for Brisley. And the final shot there from Jerry Queen. So the score then is Orient 1, Luton 0, halfway through the second half. The scorer, Jerry Queen, and that's his 5th of the season. And Orient now, if they can hold on to this one in a home game against Bolton on Monday night, if they could win that one as well, there's a lot of ifs about it, but 4 points would put them right up there amongst the leaders in the second division. But Luton, I'm sure, are going to come for them now. Bullock, Pepperlet, but I'm sure certainly the impartial observers will say that's no more than Orient deserve. But now it's John Ryan for Luton. Aston away on the left, but Ryan taking it his own way until it's Peter Allen who comes and takes it off him. So the Luton bench looking a little dejected now. Bullock, a nice header there for Brisley. Played on for Fairbrother. Queen now. Orient playing some marvellous stuff, and there's a shot by Brisley. Well, that was 2 or 3 yards too high. So the shooting wasn't very good, but the build-up was excellent. And they look in very good humour too. Ryan. Anderson. And a free kick given. So Luton now are beginning to claw their way back into this game. With something like 12 minutes left now. Orient leading by a goal to 0. Jim Ryan and Bobby Thompson standing over it.
Get tight,
Ron Chalice will want that Orient wall back 10 yards. So they're standing and waiting and wondering, like everybody else, if Luton can make anything of this. A little chip by Ryan. Anderson is there first, and it was no more than 2 inches wide of that post. So that was a very close touch there for Orient. Anderson's header no more than a whisker wide. Faulkner's head. Allen chasing it in, Garner getting it away. Hoadley gets sideways headed there under a bit of pressure. And Hoadley again. Glances off West, and it's Fairbrother. Now Queen, will he get in first? Queen winning it now. Now Barry Fairbrother. Allen will follow this one in.
Move up, Don!
The dummy giving him just that extra yard that he wanted. Wally. Queen. Played beautifully by Queen there for Wally. A little chip back again. Oh, what a magnificent goal by Fairbrother. What a tremendous goal by Orient. Well, that was a magnificent piece of build-up again by Orient. And Wally was beautifully placed to take that pass. He turns it inside, and look at that for a flying header by Barry Fairbrother. 2-0. 2-0 then to Orient. Barry Fairbrother, the scorer, who has now scored in 3 successive games for them. But the man who made it, unquestionably there on the far side, Tom Wally, with the run and the cross. But a beautiful pass, of course, that put Wally in possession in the first place. Now it's Aston again for Luton. Anderson. In goes Fairbrother. And here comes Payne. Orient now full of confidence and running. Bullock being snapped at still by Garner. Allen, who's been magnificent now in the second half, and away comes Fairbrother again. And the shot that is just wide. Goal kick then to Luton. And the Orient fans now beginning to drift away home to all corners of East London. Very pleased indeed, I would have thought, with the way their side has performed this afternoon. So it's Bullock. Back for David Payne. Touched inside nicely by Fairbrother for Allen. Allen bundled in the back by Aston, so it's a free kick again for Orient. Not had one of his most distinguished games this afternoon, John Aston. And a free kick now for Orient. Phil Hoadley's going to take it. 4 men to aim for in that area. In fact, it comes off the number 3 Thompson, and behind for a corner to Orient. Here comes the corner. And a header there. Oh, belted off the line by Thompson. Aston, and now for Ryan. But Hoadley will get there first. Played wide, but offside given against Queen, who hadn't come back quickly enough. Really in the dying seconds of the game, and still Luton are wanting to get things done quickly now. Downing. Referee looking hard at his watch again, Ron Challis, the referee from Tunbridge. Checking with both his linesmen. And there goes the final whistle, and it's a victory for Orient. The first goal scored by Terry Queen, and the second one, a really acrobatic one, scored by Barry Fairbrother. But the credit, I'm sure, goes more to George Petchey, the manager, and Terry Long, the coach, both former Crystal Palace men, who really have got Orient playing now. Luton defending so well, but not really looking like scoring. And so we're left with a final scoreline here in East London that reads Orient 2, Luton 0.
Well, that really was a lovely game of football, and the crowd was 11,000 strong. All I can say is that I think Orient deserved double that figure, judging by the style and the entertainment value they provided yesterday, and I jolly well hope they soon get it. Let's turn to Brian Clough now. They turned in some good stuff, Orient. I know you've seen what the viewers have seen this afternoon, Brian. They worked hard with a lot of style.
The goals were a good example of the match, and it was a credit to the second division.
Luton are unchanged.
which is useful when you have tense games on the run into promotion. Luton owing so much to their rise to their skipper Bobby Thompson at number 3, the best free transfer of all time, according to manager Harry Haslam. As for Millwall, a change at number 2, where David Donaldson is suspended and Eddie Jones comes in. It's a day when Luton badly need to rekindle their scoring form. 2 of their men recently have scored hat-tricks. One of them is Jimmy Husband, formerly of Everton, and the other is Barry Butlin, formerly of Derby County. The man they've got to beat, though, is the brilliant Brian King in the Millwall goal. The referee for the game at Kenilworth Road is Tom Reynolds from Wales, one of the best. And the crowd there is 15,740.
So the battle for the top of the second division moves now to Kenilworth Road in Luton, and it's Millwall who get us underway, all in white, attacking the goal to our left, with nothing much to play for themselves, but everything now for Luton, attacking the goal to our right in these orange shirts and black shorts. Luton poised for promotion, but very much at the moment in the nervous 90s. Here's Alan West. And Gordon Hill gets that one away to Brian Clark. Cricket terminology, the nervous 90s, but certainly they've been so close to it, Luton, but they faltered and lost 3 of their last 4 games and badly need to pick up a couple of points here this afternoon. Bobby Thompson to John Aston. Well, Aston found a nice bit of space there and found the run of Thompson as well. On goes Peter Anderson too, and it's turned in there. Now, can Jim Ryan hit one? No, he cannoned off Harry Cripps, turned back again. And that time Millwall, through Eddie Jones, happy to put that behind for the corner. But when that came across, it looked a sure thing that Ryan might get a decisive shot in, but it cannoned away. And so it is then that Luton have a corner. So another corner for Luton Town. Floated high this time, and Faulkner! John Faulkner! Well, that's a great goal there for Luton Town, just when they wanted it. Will help ease the tension as the corner came over from Jim Ryan. Faulkner rising beautifully there. And a good, powerful header past King. Only his 2nd goal of the season, John Faulkner. And what a good moment to get it. 8 minutes gone. Smethurst. Crossed again towards Alf Wood. He's going to be dangerous in the air, Wood, but he in fact got a little extra height on that occasion by pushing down on the shoulders of Faulkner. Alf Wood. Butlin. And now Alder. Faulkner following Wood everywhere. And a foul that time by Dorney on Husband. Free kick to Luton Town. 17 minutes gone. Luton leading by a goal to 0. The 2 Ryans there, number 2 John, number 7 Jim. And it's Jimmy who's going to take it. He frightened a few Millwall supporters there. I think they thought he was plunging in there to hit that past King, but he knew what he was doing. He's conceded the corner. Barry Butlin there at the near post. A deep corner there. Comes off Saul. Husband tried to hook it in. Hill is the only Millwall player up, but here's Saul. Nice ball there for the galloping Cripps. Played on again for Alf Wood, but Jim Ryan is right back there. Played it back to Horn. Now it's John Aston.
Come on, Jimmy!
Good run again by Anderson. Yes, will it go? Yes, it had to wait to see whether it went over or under the crossbar. Under it went. 2-0 to Luton. 18 minutes gone. So Anderson, who's looked probably sharper than anybody in a very sharp-looking Luton side this afternoon, makes it 2-0. Alf Wood turning it on this time for Clark. Played for Alder. Cross there again for Hill. Oh, and he's missed it as Wood. Smethurst trying to turn it back for Clark. Saul is in there too. Oh, and a good shot by Saul with Vaughan always behind it. I think Alf Wood might have hurt himself though. Butlin nearly up one run for West. Now can Butlin take this one? And here's Husband! And the corner. Well, it looked as though we were nearly in for a 3-0 there. And certainly Brian King is really up against it this afternoon. So a corner then to Luton. Jim Ryan again is going to take it. Garner is at the near post. Butlin, the number 9, is in there. Peter Anderson, scorer of the second goal, is right in there. And now Faulkner is making a late run also. But Smethurst getting that one away so easily. Thompson. Foul by Hill on Thompson. Bobby Thompson with the free kick. Butlin nodding it in. Husband across the face of that goal. Dorney to Cripps. Saul again for Harry Cripps. Alf Wood is in there too. But that time it was West who got it away to Husband. And what a ball there for West. Hit first time and swerving away from King all the time, but also swerving away and behind for the goal kick. A lovely ball though there that sent West on his way, and the shot is wide. Clark's backward header. Garner and Anderson and Jim Ryan. And Butlin to Aston. Play on, says the referee. A good example of a referee playing the advantage there. And here is West now for Luton Town. Still with West. There's the cross. Alan West really had Eddie Jones going different ways there. Anderson battling away, and Smethurst battled well with him there, and the referee quite right to let that one go. Saul. It's a good game this, with a lot of good flowing movement about it. Jones. And now Luton wanting to get away with it. And here's John Aston. Good quick throw there by Bobby Thompson. Here's the cross by Aston. Little Husband is going in, and it might still come. No, Butlin couldn't quite get the touch that mattered. Saul for Millwall. Cut out by Jim Ryan. Jimmy Husband. Touched on this time again for Peter Anderson. Look at that. The space he's got is unbelievable. And then it came to nothing. That was incredible, the way Anderson was allowed to go completely unchecked so deep in that Millwall penalty area. Almost had time to think of about 3 or 4 alternatives. But in the end, picked the wrong one. Clark. Well, a collision there between the referee and Alf Wood, and the referee is knocked out. We've got a situation here where the referee has been knocked out in a totally accidental collision there with Alf Wood. The trainer had to run on, and Tom Reynolds really got clobbered there by Alf Wood, totally accidentally, and for a few seconds we had a game there that was totally out of control. But the player in possession put it into touch so that Tom Reynolds could get some treatment. Well, he's a strong man, and I'm sure he's going to come through that all right. Well, some cheers from the crowd. Good referee. And Alf Wood the other one, but it was an absolute accident. And it's going to be a drop ball. Wood, back to Cripps. Hit towards Clark. Jones to Saul. Hill. And now it's Cripps. Cripps again. This time trying once more to get Doug Alder down the left. Good crosser of the ball, but he wasn't given a chance then by John Ryan. Corner then to Millwall. Kitchener's gone up for it to try and do for Millwall what Faulkner has already done for Luton. Another corner given. Again, Gordon Hill with Millwall's corner. Kitchener, in fact, almost had what was a free shot there. Jones doing well to get hold of that one. Hill again for Millwall. Again a deep cross. Alf Wood is there for that one though. And it's over Horn and just over the crossbar as well. Free kick to Luton Town, I think given against Alf Wood for climbing on a Luton defender's back as he got that header in. As the whistle goes for half-time, and what a good first half for Luton. Peter Anderson, who has been their best player, and scored their second goal after John Faulkner had gone in powerfully with the header to put them into the lead. They are the two Luton scorers. A lot to come on the big match this afternoon, including the highlights of the Amateur Cup final between Bishop Stortford and Ilford, and another look at our final six in the Golden Goals. The half-time score here, though, at Kenilworth Road in Luton reads Luton Town 2, Millwall 0, and we'll be back with a second half. Welcome back then, and now it's Luton who get us away, attacking the goal to our left, hoping to consolidate on that 2-0 lead that they've built up in the first half. But now it's Millwall in possession, and Jones putting it into touch, so it'll be a throw to Luton. Millwall, in fact, have conceded only 8 goals in their last 9 games, so it's quite an achievement for Luton to have done what they have already. And Smethurst, in fact, getting it away with a swerving clearance there, but straight to Faulkner. Anderson. John Ryan. Husband. Anderson again, pumping it forward. Butlin is after it. Alf Wood for Millwall. Smethurst right up there. Smethurst taking over now. He's got past Thompson, and that very nearly went in there with Clark. But it's a corner. Dorney in there. Kitchener has stayed back on this occasion. There's the corner coming in, but it was Butlin who got the header to it and got it away. Smethurst with the throw again for Millwall. Here's Clark. Oh, Hill in a bit of space on the far side. It wouldn't quite come quickly enough. Oh, but what a good save, though. A good shot by the youngster, Gordon Hill, but equally a fine save by Graham Horne. Butlin now for Luton, played off for Husband. I don't think Ryan will stop that one. Another injured person there. And now it's with Clark. Played for Alder, and in turn on the far side for Hill. Clark is in the middle, and so too was Garner, but there's Alder now, but straight and comfortably at Graham Horne. I think they will have to stop the game in a moment or two, because behind that Millwall goal now, the crowd are beginning to encroach on the pitch itself. And I notice that Tom Reynolds is looking pretty closely at it, the referee. And I think we've got a silly situation here. And he has stopped the game. And he's quite right to do it. Because again, we've got some idiotic aggravation behind that goal. When there's a super game here that means a lot to Luton Town. And really has been very attractive as well. But people can't content themselves just with watching that. The game at the moment is stopped. Notice that Harry Cripps has gone in there. Mainly very young children who are in some danger down there towards the front with the crowds pushing at them from behind. So a consultation there between Tom Reynolds and a police inspector. One young casualty. I think the delay will be a fairly short one, and the incredible thing is at the other end of the ground there is so much space. There is so much comfortable space on the terracing at the far end there. And yet there we are, the people at the other end are crammed in behind that goal. Well, these really are some of the most sickening scenes that anybody who cares anything about the game of football can see. And when people say that very often it's violence on the field that spills onto the terraces, that certainly hasn't been the case here, because it's been a magnificent game played in the very best of spirits with hardly a foul. And so certainly that, the sort of thing that's going on behind that goal, bears no relation to the fine game of football we've had on the pitch. While it looks as though the game is going on, I think for once in his life even Eric Morecambe can't bring a smile to his face. Kitchener getting it away, back to Aston, a little touch in by Butlin, and it very nearly went beyond King for the goal, but instead it's still 2-0, and Heinsohn is coming on. And John Aston has got it. Roy McCrowan, the coach there, giving him his instructions. Husband now for Luton. Ryan outside him. Barry Butlin right on ahead of him. That's a nice nod down by Butlin, and Heinsohn couldn't quite collect. Thompson using all the neck muscles to get the header in there. But Smethurst for Millwall. The little stab pass there for Clark. And now the headed pass for Clark. Millwall playing well there. But that didn't come off for Alf Wood. And it's Bobby Thompson again. Played on for Heinsohn with Butlin again in the middle. Hit low, and I think King was almost caught out by that. I think Brian King expected the cross there for Butlin. Instead of that, it almost crept in at the near post. Luton's throw. Garner with it. Saul jumping and only half getting it, and then only getting as far as Jim Ryan. Now Anderson. No power for the corner off Harry Cripps. Frank Saul gets it as far as John Ryan. Now here we are with Jimmy Ryan. Crossed in again there. The header that time by Garner. Almost creeping in at the far post. And there's Garner at the other end. No play on! Wow, that's incredible! Here's Heinsohn, and that's number 3. The linesman absolutely adamant on the far side. But Gordon Heinsohn was in an onside position. He could hardly believe it himself. But he went through there, showed great composure as King came out, made it 3-0. Gordon Heinsohn on for John Aston has really made it safe now for Luton. Now it's Gordon Hill. Trying to get Doug Alder inside that full-back, and he's managed it, but he couldn't get it through to Wood. Thompson knocking that one away. So Luton with so much to be happy about. And Gordon Hill now on the far side. Now it's with Clark. Saul turning it in. And that time Horn, Gallas well. And now away goes West. Oh, what a fair looking ball if Husband could get there, but King was out quickly. And at last he's got something really to smile about, Eric Morecambe. We want 4, said the crowd. And Husband now in possession. A nice little chip there for Anderson. Trying to get Harry Cripps going, and there's the shot! What a good save there! And Buckin is there! No, not given. Not given. Anderson saved beautifully there from, or rather, King saved beautifully there from Anderson, pushed it up, and Bucklin, getting his head to it, pushed down on King. Goal disallowed. Number 9 disappointed. 3-0 still. Alder making a good break. John Ryan going with him. And Alder getting the better of that one. Is that going to be outside or is it going to be inside? I think Ryan might be booked. Yes, Ryan is going to be booked. Ryan is going to be booked in spite of Doug Alder saying no, it wasn't worth a booking, ref. John Ryan will go into Tom Reynolds' book for what I suppose is called a professional foul. Pulling away at Alder. So it'll be a free kick then to Millwall. Right on the edge of that penalty area. Chipped in there by Frank Saul. And Kitchener, or rather it was, yes it was Kitchener. But now it's Heinsohn. Played for Husband, taken nicely in his stride. And there's a good ball for Alan West with a scoring chance for him now, which he hasn't taken because King came out so swiftly. Back with Anderson. Looking very dangerous on these breaks, Luton, as Anderson gets that one in. So twice Brian King in action there. The first save, infinitely the better one, coming out to Alan West so well. Husband to Jim Ryan. And a throw to Millwall. Now it's with Clark. Smethurst, Saul, and Bobby Thompson again. Calmly back to Graham Horne. Anderson. And there goes the final whistle, with Heinsohn having added that third goal in the second half for Luton to make it absolutely safe. The crowd are invading the pitch. Bobby Thompson, who has skippered Luton this season, and it seems now might well be lead them into the first division. So the crowd are on. Goals by Faulkner, by Anderson and by Heinsohn, giving them a clear advantage over Millwall on the afternoon, one which they deserved, and a victory that might well now take them into the first division next season. So a final scoreline here at a very happy Kenilworth Road in Luton that reads Luton Town 3, Millwall 0.
Yes, Luton virtually there now, and this is how the top of the second division looks today. Luton there with 2 games still to play, remember. 1 point would virtually do it for them. Well, before we go on, and referring back to that pitch invasion in the second half, there was some aggravation behind that goal, but also the overspill was caused by a buckled crush barrier, as you can see. So it may have been a little less than fair to some of those Luton fans in the commentary there in the second half, but there was some aggravation too. But it was good to be there on a buoyant afternoon like that, and nobody, I think, was more buoyant afterwards than the Luton manager, Harry Haslam. And I asked him how he felt about those people who say that if Luton do go up to the first division, they won't be good enough to stay there.
Well, I mean, we're bound to gain knockers because we're a small club, and small clubs invariably will get the knocking off other people. All as I'm saying is that Ipswich started out small, finished up big. I think we've got the same opportunity. We've got to get the crowd really behind us, and when we do that, we've done something. And we've got to force ahead, and we haven't got to worry about who we play. It's where we play and how we play. You know, this is the key. I think we can go in there, and irrespective of all the... there is a few experts who said we've no chance. But it's nice to laugh at them at each end of every season, and we've not done so bad up to now.
I tell you one thing, talking about getting the crowd behind you, the crowd reacted violently once or twice this afternoon. Well, what's that all about?
I don't like that at all, because it's no part of the game. I mean, you know, I mean, these kids get built up and they let their emotions run away with them. I'm not saying they're ours or Millwall's or anybody else's. I just don't think it's any part of the game. I really don't.
But you're going to get enormous crowds down here, given reasonable luck next year. I mean, what are you going to be able to do about that?
Well, I mean, this is a problem we have to, until we get it, and we haven't had that much of, because the gates have never been that big. But as they come, we'll have to face them and do something about it. No two doubts about that. Like every other club, I think the troubles are not only at our size, they're all sizes.
A few more seats behind that goal might stop.
Well, I'd like to see the ground hold 40,000 all seats, I really would, both for the money and both for the fact they could all sit down for a change.
Can I finish on a personal note? Tunbridge is where you spent a lot of your time as a manager, and so did Malcolm McDonald as a player.
He did.
It's a funny old double that you've had a great season, and he's had a tremendous season as well.
Well, I just
must be something in the air, Harry.
Well, I hope I can meet him at the end, and they've got the cup, and we can sit down and have a chat, and what a way it could be. But next season will be harder, because we've got to go to Newcastle, and then Joe's waiting for me, isn't he?
Harry Haslam of Luton there. I think you get a pretty good idea why the spirit is so high at Kenilworth Road when you look at Harry. Just before we leave Luton, though, just a couple of points. I touched on the violence in the crowd there, and a couple of young lads were in fact taken to the Luton and Dunstable Hospital after being stabbed before the game. Peter Farmer from Luton is one. There's another fan there with him whose name I'm afraid we haven't got. But let's start first of all at Highbury, home of the Gunners, as you can see from the symbols there, where it's a pretty grey and gloomy day, which in many ways epitomises the start that both Arsenal and Luton have made this season, both well into the lower half of the First Division table. And for Arsenal, the problem has been more with injuries than anything else. The team they put out today has Sammy Nilsson returning to the number 3 shirt, but Charlie George is now missing. And as for Luton, I think it's a tribute to their management, Harry Haslam and Roy McCrone, that they've resisted the temptation to make wholesale changes after their 4-1 home defeat by Ipswich last week. But Jimmy Husband is out, and Jim Ryan comes in at number 8. Two interesting characters in the number 11 shirts on view today. For Arsenal, it's the young Irishman, Liam Brady, having such a good season for them. And then there's Luton's Adrian Alston from the Australian World Cup team.
But a measure of Arsenal's injury problem can be seen right now. There's Alan Ball in the centre, to the right Bob McNabb, the man in the news, Charlie George. Nice to see Bob Wilson there amongst his old mates again. Referee Ron Chalice of Tunbridge.
So Luton Town kick off, attacking the goal to our left, a team up from the second division but still looking for their first win this season in the First Division Championship. As the rain starts to come down again after a particularly gloomy day, a lot of heavy rain, which will make the top surface just a little bit tricky and a little bit swift. Faulkner getting in for Luton in those that white strip of theirs with the dark blue stripe on it. Arsenal in the red shirts with white sleeves and white shorts. Arsenal very much denuded with a number of players injured, including Alan Ball, you can probably see in the centre there, Bob McNabb also, Charlie George at the back. Simpson trying to flick that with the outside of his boot, which was just a little ambitious there, and it goes straight to West. But here's young Matthews coming in again, seeing the gap and open up ahead of him, and so he's prepared to go on. Radford in support, and what a good pass there to finish it off. The good run there by the youngster, and here's George Armstrong, the cross by him, going behind off Bobby Thompson for another corner. So a very good run by John Matthews, and a corner for Arsenal. Armstrong with the corner then. Floated much more this one, and straight to the arms of Keith Barber. He and Graham Horne fighting for that Luton goalkeeping position, and it's Keith Barber who's just won it back. Lockley's header. West. And Simpson. Don Shanks keeping that one in. Simpson's header again. Shanks going in again. Jim Ryan going in again, and Arsenal there with more players about the place, and it's Liam Brady to Armstrong to Story, and on now for Radford, and Faulkner slipped. This is the chance for Radford, and he took it just a little too close to Barber, and Arsenal might well have capitalised on that. A bad slip, or an unfortunate slip rather, by John Faulkner. Radford right through, and Barber keeping his head and keeping his cool and doing well. To Peter Anderson, now Jim Ryan again for Luton, and West in a lot of space on the right. West. Jim Ryan might come for Alston as well, and it took a good save there from Jimmy Rimmer. The shot by Adrian Alston, big powerful fellow, turned on that well, and Rimmer really had to dive to save. So a corner to Luton, their first of the game, with 10 minutes gone and no score. Jim Ryan will take it. In fact, it took a header by Liam Brady just as it was falling for Anderson. Now Radford v Thompson. Off Thompson, Arsenal's throw. Kidd. And now Luton's throw. Which Gordon Heinsohn will take. John Ryan forward towards Alston, and Butlin beaten in the air that time by Matthews. Lockley played for Matthews again. Nelson stopping that well, but Ryan did a very good job. There's a lot of good tackling back by these Luton players, and they are marking very tight as well, deep in defence. But here's Armstrong trying his luck on the far side. Well, he's got a corner off Shanks. Inevitably, as you can see in the far left-hand the picture, there's Jeff Blockley coming forward again. There he is. That'll get to Blockley, and it needed another good save by Barber, getting down well to clutch that to his body as Blockley rose so well as that corner came in.
the save by Barber. Now, can Nelson open up the way? Simpson, can he do it? Well, there's the pass intercepted by Heinsohn, and this could be a dangerous-looking break for Luton. Butlin played inside again for Heinsohn. Olsen is right up there. West is right up there. They got men spare, and it was crying out for a pass either to West here, who's on the ball, or Ryan, who's here now. But there's the cross again, and Butlin very nearly getting in. And so, having had so many men back in defence, a swift breakout, and as that ball went across the goal, it just needed a touch by Butlin to put Luton into the lead. Now Radford, can he take advantage of this? John Radford! Oh, and what a save! What a tremendous save there by Barber from Radford. The Luton defence in a bit of trouble with that header that went through to Radford from one of their own men. Radford making tremendous advances, and what a save, he caught it so well. And that time it'll come to Armstrong again. Butlin right back there, and I think that might well be another corner. No, Faulkner retrieved that situation before Blockley could get in. But that really was a brilliant save by young Keith Barber. Looks sure to be the opening goal of this game. Long throw there by Sammy Nelson. Simpson right in there too. Oh, and this might go for Kidd. Kelly now. And a goal kick. Completely lost the thread there, Eddie Kelly. Anderson. Now Butlin's header. Alston there. Working very well with Barry Butlin is Adrian Alston. Can he get that shot? And he can, and it's against the post. Well, how unlucky. Beautiful combination there by Butlin in the first place, flicking it on with his head as he does so well. Alston picking it up beautifully, taking a couple of Arsenal defenders out of the game, and what a good shot off the foot of that post. And even then it might have gone in the other side. Well, I wonder what the Luton bench thought of that. Harry Haslam, their cheerful manager, keeps a smile on his face even when things aren't going too well for him. Good header there by Radford. Now can Kidd get away? He was pulled back just outside the area, I fancy. Yes, a yard outside the area. Pulled back by John Ryan. So this could be interesting. 19 yards from the Arsenal goal. Dead centre. 2, 4, 5 men in the wall. Anderson facing towards his own goal at the moment. Brady in there too. Now who's going to take it? Kelly is in there. Kidd is in there. And Blockley has gone to join the wall and been allowed to get in there by the Luton wall. Now they've pushed him to the end. So he's got to get a clear side of it. It's not easy with a wall that size. Blockley leaning in on Butlin there on the end of the wall. And Brady having a rough time of it, being pushed at the other end as well. Kidd thundering it through, yes! Brian Kidd! 1-0 to Arsenal. The wall disintegrated. Well, after all the preparations for that free kick where Luton had pulled everybody back in the wall, Kidd stepped up. The ball found a way through, and Arsenal are into the lead. So Brian Kidd continuing the success story that he's brought from Manchester United. That's his 6th goal this season for Arsenal. And a goal had looked on the cards for so long, and more recently indeed at the other end of the field. But Arsenal go into the lead with just a couple of minutes to go now to half-time. A free kick to Arsenal. Brady. Good bit of pace there by Brady. Kidd is in there. Oh, and what a goal that would have been. An overhead kick of the most acrobatic proportions, and somehow Barber held it. Great piece of acrobatics there by Kidd. And in the end, a good safe catch by Barber.
Armstrong. Kelly. That's got Arsenal's spirit soaring. Brady again. Back for Simpson this time. Well, Butlin said thank you for that. Heinsohn. Ryan. Thompson. Shanks. Thompson made a good run there from the left back position, and here he is at outside right, and he's got a corner, I think. Yes, a corner for Luton, as we're in injury time now at the end of the first half. So here's Luton's corner. Cross coming in again. Butlin just failed to get his header to that one. Heinsohn tried to dink it in once more, and it's Brady for Arsenal. Way back to Rimmer, cut off by Butlin. West with a header. Heinsohn again, last seconds of the first half. Don't think Butlin can possibly get to that one. And he's given a push, I think, in the back. So it'll be a free kick, not a goal kick. So there goes the whistle for half-time. Arsenal going ahead just before the interval with that free kick from Brian Kidd, with the question mark against the Luton defensive wall. But there could have been other goals at both ends, and the reason that Arsenal aren't further in front is down really to Keith Barber. Two tremendous saves from John Radford. And still so much to come on the big match this afternoon, including Ipswich against Chelsea, and a bonus match, and much more besides as we look at your letters and leave you here at Highbury with a half-time score. Arsenal 1, Luton 0, and we'll be right back. As we welcome you back, Arsenal now attacking the goal to our left. Goal scored by Brian Kidd, the number 10. Luton, as I've said earlier on, still without a win so far in the First Division. And indeed, two sides who really haven't got a very good goal-scoring record. Arsenal with only 8 goals in their previous 9 games. Luton with only 5 goals in 7 league games. But maybe that skiddy surface in the second half will liven things up, produce 1 or 2 incidents around the goal mouth as we had in the first half, that will increase the goal tally. Story with the throw then for Arsenal. Radford trying to get away again from Faulkner. Thompson. Kelly with the throw. Faulkner. Alston. John Ryan now to Don Shanks for Luton. Jimmy Ryan. Shanks has continued his run down the right for him. Cross there again, a little too high for Barry Butlin, and that's a goal kick to Arsenal. Well, the sun's beginning to come out now, and the crowd are enjoying it much more, particularly the Arsenal sections here. Kidd up for this one, allowed a bit of space, but the header not going in Radford's direction. Lifts his head to the heavens in despair, John Radford, at that. Here's Butlin, the other number 9. Well, that didn't do too much for him either, but it's Luton's throw, which Thompson will take for them, their skipper. No, he's leaving it for Alan West. Jim Ryan. Don Shanks. Oh, and here's Anderson with a chance now for Luton Town. Squared across the goal, and Alston has scored. Well, they all recognise what a big part in it that Peter Anderson played with that one. going wide there, taking it well, not risking the shot himself, playing it inside.
And Alston finishes it off.
Will surprise a lot of people feeling that Arsenal should have got this one sewn up in the first half. Story. Now Butlin. Alston away, Matthews with him. Brady, Kelly and Story. A push in the back on Radford by John Ryan, a free kick to Arsenal. Well, a much happier character in this ground, although I think he's always a fairly happy fella. Harry Haslam on the right there, the Luton manager, Roy McCrone, the coach. Alston. Still Alston. He's got a powerful shot. This will fall now for Heinsohn. Oh, and he missed that badly. That really was a bad miss by Gordon Heinsohn after that. Ricochet had come off the Arsenal defender. Clear sight at goal. Radford. Here's Kidd. And Kelly with the throw. So a corner then to Arsenal. No, it's a free kick. A free kick to Arsenal, George Armstrong to take it. A little chip there, Brady was right in there, Simpson's here too. Oh, and a good shot! And will Kidd force it in? He has! On his hands and knees! The goal given. Luton a bit disappointed with that. I don't think they know quite what they are protesting about. But Simpson's shot not properly held by Barber. And it fell to Kidd, who was already on his hands and knees, and it was almost a question of walking it over while he was half on the ground. 2-1 then to Arsenal. And Brian Kidd has done it again. So now Luton have got to fight back once more. Butlin right in there, Matthews, fairly ungainly stride he's got, but covers the ground fairly quickly at the same time. Here he is back to Jimmy Rimmer, the goalkeeper. Now it's with Brady. Arsenal with their tails up now, and that hasn't been a very frequent occurrence in this game after a bright start and the impetus of a goal just before half-time. Matthews there first, but John Ryan now to take it up for Luton. Only as far as Simpson. Ryan again to Barry Butlin. Good ball there by Kelly for Radford. Kidd is up and he's just onside. Oh, but they got completely confused in the end. Such a promising break there, because Radford also had Armstrong completely unmarked away on the right for him. West for Luton. Faulkner now joining up with the attack.
with about just over 10 minutes to go. Luton searching so hard for this second equaliser. Here's Shanks. That's a good-looking cross too. And it's just on top of that crossbar from Butlin. Good cross again by Shanks. So a goal kick for Arsenal. Jimmy Rimmer to take it. Kelly, Simpson, Rimmer. Kidd knocking it on, but backing into Faulkner. Shanks and West. Strong challenging there by Jimmy Ryan. Now John Ryan to Don Shanks. Shanks has taken on too much there, but West can again collect for Luton. Jim Ryan. There's the cross going in again, too high for Butlin, and it was Story, in fact, who got a header to it. Shanks going on. There's the cross for him, and it might come again for Luton. No, headed away by Blockley that time, and by Armstrong. Shanks! Oh, a tremendous goal by Don Shanks! What a tremendous goal by Shanks! Well, that was bobbing about for so long, so dangerously there from the Arsenal point of view. And when it came out for Shanks, whack with that left foot, and Rimmer had no chance at all. Well, no mistake about that shot from Don Shanks. And they have less than 10 minutes now to suffer on that Luton bench as they look at their watches again. Armstrong. Brady there with a header. Arsenal, who've looked quite bright in patches, but I think they've missed a little bit the fire that Alan Ball and the inspiration that Alan Ball gives them in the middle of the field particularly. I think that's where they've been lacking today. Nelson's header, Armstrong fighting for it as gamely as ever, but seems to have lost just a yard or so, George Armstrong. Inside the last minute. A free kick given against Matthews. Now, can Luton plant this ball into the Arsenal penalty area and yet snatch 1 point, or 2 points rather, instead of one? Anderson's right in there, Alston is right up there, and it's with West. Played on for Butlin, who had his back to the ball. Faulkner. Arsenal have got everybody now back inside their own half. Shanks. Here's Anderson again, looking to get the better of Brady, which he's done, though he was pulled back, turned in by Ryan, and knocked out away again by Story. Here's Faulkner. Jim Ryan, Faulkner carried on by his own momentum there. Still going on, then playing it for Anderson. Can Anderson get the cross in? Well, he can't, and it's a goal kick. And we're now playing injury time. And there goes the final whistle, in fact, and a very entertaining game it turned out to be. 2 goals by Brian Kidd, twice putting Arsenal into the lead. The number 2, Don Shanks, scoring without doubt the outstanding goal of the day, which made the second equaliser, with Adrian Alston getting the first one, which brings us to a final scoreline then at Highbury that reads Arsenal 2, Luton 2.
Well, Luton now 1 off the bottom of the table. Arsenal 7 off the bottom with 6 points from their first 8 games. Hence the talk today there at Highbury of a crisis, of a break-up. Well, here with me is the Arsenal coach, Bobby Campbell. But before we talk to Bobby, let's have a word with the Luton star yesterday, Adrian Alston, which I'm sure is going to please all our Australian viewers. After the game, I asked him about his first appearance at Highbury.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great, very fast, and you know, I think I'm settling down now. You know, after about 4 or 5 games.
You told me just now you thought Luton were robbed. Did you feel that you were, what, the better side than Arsenal?
Yeah, I really did as far as football is concerned. I thought we played the best football, had more chances. And when I say we're robbed, I'm talking about Arsenal's second goal, when Simpson handled the ball before he shot, you know.
What about your goal?
Well, great. They're all great to go in, you know.
In fact, you had 1 or 2 good shots. Jimmy Rimmer had to make one good save from you, hit the post as well. Are you finding that you can adapt to First Division football as quickly as this?
Well, like I say, it's very fast. It's a lot faster than what I've been used to. But since I've been training full time, I'm sort of getting used to it now, you know.
The first time we've had the pleasure of seeing you on the big match, but you've seen the big match plenty of times yourself, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I used to watch it every week in Australia, yeah. It's a top rating show, I think, over there.
Would you like to say something to all your pals you've left behind there? Because they're going to be seeing this as well.
Just like to say I miss them all and I wish them all the best, you know. I hope they do as well as I do anyway.
Which is very well indeed at the moment for Adrian Alston. Let's turn now to Bobby Campbell, the Arsenal coach. Bob, I think before we talk about Arsenal generally, we've got to clear up the point that Adrian made about Peter Simpson handling the ball. We can look at that again now. Your impression was that Peter Simpson did handle it or didn't?
No, he caught it high on his chest up here in this area.
Well, here we come now then, and the man to watch out for, of course, is the Arsenal number 2 coming into the picture now on the left-hand side. And this is the moment that Luton were saying was handball. There. What you've got to look at also is the referee on the left-hand side of the picture, Ron Chalice, perfectly placed, arms wide. No handball. He does well now, Simpson. Bobby?
Tremendous left foot volley on that there. There's an object lesson there to be learned by other players, actually. After Brian Kidd puts this one in, of course. But a goalkeeper, appealing to the referee, if he was to get on with his job, he had a chance of stopping the shot. He saw something, or he thought he saw something. He appealed to the referee. The game's still in flow. And the fellow now has to adjust himself, concentrate on the shot, and he may have stopped the shot if he'd have gone on with the job.
A quick word about Brian Kidd, who's done exceptionally well for you, even though he scored that one on his knees. And indeed got a very good free kick goal just before half-time. Now, before we look at that, can you tell me what it is that you want to do in a wall to disrupt it?
Well, as a defence, you have to be organised. So your job is to either outwit them or disorganise what they've got. And in that case, Big Jeff Blockley, went in the wall and disorganised it. He got on the end of it, Geordie on one end, I think it was Geordie or Chippy, then him on the other end, then Jeffrey runs across the face of the wall. Well, as he did so, the fella, as you see him here...
Blockley on the right of the picture, the Arsenal.
Yeah, the fella tried to stop him, actually, look. Now, if he'd have let Jeff go, the ball would have hit him on the knee. But as it is, he's half-turned, it's hit him on the heel, slightly on the heel, and gone on the other side of the net.
Well, that was the happy side for Arsenal yesterday. There was a pretty unhappy side with the conceding of those 2 goals. And looking at them again today, slight defensive errors there, Bobby.
Yes, I think there was. I think there's the first goal, there was too much space. They were allowed to run into space unmarked. And if you see on the caption here, is it Anderson the 4, he's allowed to run from the middle of the park, free. Then he entices Big Jeff out. Now, Big Jeff's got to go, and he'd possibly gone a bit too soon there. He slid it past him, and he's crossed it, and John Matthews is on the cover, and there's 2 of their players and 3 of ours. And there's not one of our players there gone towards the ball. They've come back in the goal area, which is, I mean, the spaces don't score goals, it's players score goals.
This is the second one?
Yeah.
Shank's doing very well there for Luton.
Yeah, and it's deflected up in the air.
You really had a few chances to get that away as well,
We did, yes. Big Jeff's got his head on it, and there's Geordie doing the centre-half's job, knocking it out. And we're surrounded that ball, and it goes right to one of their players. And Shanks has volleyed it in there, look.
I think Rimmer just gets his hand to it there.
Yeah, I think he did.